Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sarah Pavan.
And I'm Adam.
And today we are watching Death Note. Season 1, Episode 1, called Rebirth.
I had no idea what this was about, and I found out yesterday that it's a horror anime. So
Adam's stressed.
I don't generally watch. I'm not sure I've watched any horror movies.
We're not great with horror in general. I get too scared. I think this is more thriller. Yeah, psychological.
That I can get behind, but I don't know what a horror anime is like.
Me neither. Apparently, there's some required reading when it comes to anime, and this is one of them.
Got it.
Yes. So, as always, Adam and we took the members' recommendations or votes, and here we are, doing what they told us to do. I watched a series of horror trailers with the members for Halloween ones, and this was one of them, and I was incredibly intrigued. But other than what I saw in the trailer, I have no clue what I'm getting into. And Adam is even worse off than me.
I feel like I'm walking into a haunted house right now.
Mom, can you pick me up? I'm scared.
Here we go. We don't know what to say other than we will find out as we move through this, but
I'm also not responsible for any of the real-time reactions I make watching a horror show.
That's why we're here, people. So yeah, I'm excited. It's gonna be a surprise. So season 1, episode 1 of Death Note is coming right now. I'm sorry, what?
Nah.
What is this? Shinigami Realm.
Ooh, I like his voice.
That's your takeaway from this?
それで私何もしてないのに。
どうしました？今の文章の和訳をお願いします。
神の教えに従うべし。さすれば海の恵みは豊かになり、嵐はやってこないだろう。
午前11時頃、神奈川県横浜市のアパートで30前後とみられる男性が血まみれで死亡。
I've been to Yokohama.
次のニュースです。本日正午過ぎ。
I wonder if that world is something that he's created on his own.
15歳の女性に暴行を加え殺害したとして。
毎日毎日同じことの繰り返し。
まったくくだらねえ。
この世は
腐ってる。
What are you gathering? What is this weird Shinigami realm? Because he looks like the Joker to me.
Yeah. From where I'm standing right now, there's two possible situations. One is it's like his own creation, like in his head that he's created another world because he looks bored in school.
Bored!
Or it's an alternate reality or a pre-existing parallel realm is kind of what I'm thinking. Although, interestingly enough, they seem to marry each other as characters so far in terms of what they think of their own world. Maybe it's his creation.
Fair, okay.
That's kind of where I'm at as of right now.
Also, were they in religion class or English?
I don't know. I think the Bible is probably commonly used as a translation tool. No? Maybe not?
I have no idea.
Species are becoming extinct at a faster rate than has occurred.
Maybe that's the portal to the other world.
Death Note 直訳で死のノート
He's like, oh, perfect.
使い方このノートに名前を書かれた人間は死ぬくだらないまったく病んでるな不幸の手紙から全然進歩しちゃいない何が名前を書かれた人間は死ぬだまったくどうかしてるな僕も各人物の顔が頭に入っていないと効果はない故に同姓同名の人物にいっぺんに効果は得られない名前の後に人間界単位で40秒以内に死因を書くとその通りになる書かなければ死因は全て心臓麻痺になる死因を書くとさらに6分40秒詳しい死の状況を記載する時間が与えられる楽に死なせたり苦しませて死なせたりできるってことかいたずらもここまで手が込んでくるとまあまあかな名前を書くと死ぬか本当にくだらない
So what, are you just gonna test it out?
He's definitely gonna test it out.
But who do you pick to test it with?
Someone at school.
Oh, that didn't take long.
You're on a clock once you start, though.
Yeah, you
万が
have
一
to
本
have
当に死んだら
plans.
僕は殺人犯か
Yes, you're knowingly doing it.
まさかなそんなわけあるはずない
昨日新宿の繁華街で6人もの人を殺傷した通り魔は今なお幼児と保育士8人を人質にこの保育園に立てこもっております警視庁は犯人を音原田九郎無職42歳と断定
Dexter style.
40秒で心臓麻痺だったな
今のところよく分かっておりません
人質の方の
現場からお伝えしました
ありがとうございました
やっぱり何も起こらない当たり前か
Well, what is the news gonna happen like immediately?
動きがあったようです
人質が出てきました皆無事のようです入れ替わるように機動隊が突入犯人逮捕でしょうかはいたった今情報が入りました犯人は保育園内で死亡犯人は死亡した模様です
死亡
機動隊は射殺したのではないと強調しております
では追い詰められての自殺ということでしょうか
それが人質の証言では犯人は突然倒れたと話しています
心臓麻痺いや偶然だ偶然に決まってる
ライトもう6時半になるわよ今日は塾の日でしょ
Cram school? What is that, tutoring?
Seems like a pretty powerful artifact to be in the hands of a high school kid.
Why is it written in English?
That's a good question. I didn't even think of that.
Because the writing in the actual book was English.
Yeah. It didn't even process to me that I could read it. I was just reading it. Okay, so this is fascinating.
I mean, you have to be pretty messed up to use that.
Come on, you can't tell me.
I would not use that book.
I object.
Who? Don't answer that.
Don't answer that.
I could think of any number of people who I went to high school with who would look at that and be like, ooh, this is dumb, like we're just gonna try it.
No, but like
down.
now that he knows it works, I mean.
Like if you don't know what's gonna happen.
Who would use that? He's packing it up. He's packing it to take with him.
I will say how he chose somebody. I mean, I don't ever condone killing people.
Oh, wow.
But I mean, if you were gonna test it out, he was kind of thoughtful about how he did it.
Like I said, Dexter style. Great show, by the way.
This is interesting.
I did hear from numerous sources that the dubs for this were outstanding.
Outstanding.
But y'all know I'm a subs girl, so we're keeping the subs here. And I'm nothing if not consistent.
Well, that's 100% accurate.
If he uses it again though, he's messed up.
He's 100% gonna use it again. Because he thinks it's a coincidence. You can't do this once and go, yeah, it works, and then leave it off to the shelf.
Well, he waited 40 seconds and then was like, oh, it's not working. I'm sorry, you're watching it on TV.
No, but the next step is gonna be to write in the way somebody is killed and see if it works.
The fact that, no. Yeah, I don't disagree with you that he's gonna do it, but there has to be something wrong with you to continue to test it.
He's bored.
God! God!
もう一度試してみる価値はある。そうなると
Didn't take
やは
long.
り犯罪者か。しかしあまり大物でもまずい。たとえ死んでもその事実をしばらく隠される可能性がある。すぐに結果が欲しい。
よう領地。
何ですどうか。
2000円でいいから貸してよ。
またですか。
須藤、殺してみるか。いや、身近な人間はなるべく避けた方がいいな。いや、そんな気にすることもないか。どうせあんな奴の一人や二人、死んでも誰も何も思わない。
これで帰りゲーセン行くぜ。
明日合コンやるんだけど来ない？
Speed dating party.
In high school? Or maybe the university.
うちのババ迎えに来てねえじゃねえかよ。
まったくこうなるとどいつもこいつも殺した方が世の中のためになるやつばかりに見えてくる。
お姉さん、今から俺らと遊ばんない？
さすがたくさん、すんげえ美人ゲット。
俺、すごい丸卓を
Look at those teeth!
付き合ってよ、素敵なお姉さん。
困ります。
困ります。だって。
やばい。ならめくって逃して全部。
いいっすか？
やめて。
Good thing the guy yelled his name out.
さあどうなる？
Oh, wow.
決まりだ。デスノート本物だ。
おったくバカ野郎、急に飛び出しやがって。さてそろそろ行くか。
Interesting.
The human. Maybe. Maybe it was created by that.
あれからいつか。さて。
Maybe this is the realm of death.
お出かけかリュウク。
ここはどこ行ったって不毛だぜ。
デスノート落としちまった。
今度はまたすげえドジしたな。
つうかおめえじじい玉くらかして2冊持ってたじゃねえか。2冊とも落としたのかよ。
で、どこに落としたか分かってるわけ？
警戒。
え
Gook. That was another name. No. What is he supposed to be? Some creepy version of an angel of death?
Something like that.
Oh. Dude, he is so ugly.
I thought he would maybe transform into something that belongs in the world, but he's just hanging out as is.
母さん。ん？ああ、全国模試の結果ね。
早く。
はい。
あら、また1位。
Number one in the country?
頑張ったわね、ライト。
まあ
Is it
ね。
nationwide?
じゃあ勉強するから邪魔しないでね。
はいはい。あ、ライト。何か欲しいものはないの？何でも言って。
別にないよ。母さん。
Mom's very proud.
欲しいものは手に入った。
So all those names are written in already?
Yeah, I for a second thought he had just filled the book up.
No, because when he was writing that
It was a clean page.
other guy's name, no. The guy who got hit by the truck, there was a list and I was so confused.
気に入ってるようだな。
I would lose it.
You freak out when there's a spider in the room.
なぜそんなに驚く？そのノートの落とし主、死神のリュークだ。さっきの様子だと、もうそれがただのノートじゃないって分かってるんだろ？
Who created this thing?
死神か。
Okay, so that must be the translation.
驚いてないよ、リュウク。いや、待ってたよ、リュウク。
おう？
僕はすでに死神のノートを現実だと疑ってなかったが、こうしていろんなことを直視することでますます確信を持って行動できる。
なるほどな。お前には驚かされるぜ。過去にデスノートが人間界に出回った話は俺も何度か聞いたことがあったが、たった5日でここまでやったのはお前が初めてだ。波じゃビビってここまで書けない。
覚悟はできてるよ、リュウク。僕は死神のノートを分かっていた。
Okay. So the book was blank. He's been. I don't know what to say right now.
That is so disturbing.
That was like 40 names.
At least.
5 days. He's offing 8 people a day. He's just become the most prolific serial killer ever.
I'm shocked right now. I can't even.
Okay, but hold on.
So that list, when the guy got hit by the truck and it was that huge list, he had already written all that down.
Yeah.
Oh my god. This
Dude,
kid's
I know you're gonna freak out when I ask you this question. But take a second to think about it. Do you think that he's a good guy?
A few moments later.
I guess we're making the assumption that he's killing bad people.
Yeah.
Many unbearable hours later.
It's such a fascinating conversation to have. So he used the book to help a woman who was potentially gonna be in a bad situation. And again, nobody deserves that outcome, but we haven't gotten the impression so far that he's been using it for selfish reasons or anything like that.
It definitely seems that he's killing bad people.
Yeah.
Does that make him a good person?
Makes him a vigilante.
I don't think it's up to him to decide who lives and dies.
I mean, that's fair. If you take out the finality of the consequences.
But like, call the police. Like if you see this some bad stuff going on.
I mean,
Call somebody.
I mean, the police were already at the mall with the kids. The police weren't going to make it in time for that woman.
Do you think he's a good person?
To me, this is like a
moral conundrum.
Yeah. Because I think about it this way. Do I think he could do a whole lot worse with that book? Yes.
But I think he's gonna escalate and start killing people that he knows.
I mean, I think absolute power corrupts.
Oh my god.
But this is not what I thought we were gonna be watching. But it's interesting. I did not think there would be a Death Note book.
The title didn't give it away.
I like literal things.
A Death Note.
I like literal things, as you could tell from the beginning of the episode, but I didn't think it would be. It's interesting.
Oh dang.
僕はどうなる？魂を取られるのか？
なんだそれ。
I'm shocked every
人間
time
の
I
作っ
look
た
at
勝
that
手な
thing's
イメージか。
face.
俺はお前に何もしない。人間界の地についた時点でノートは人間界のものになる。つまりそいつはもうお前のものだ。
Dude, he loves that too.
いらなきゃ他の人間に回
to
せ。
die.
その時はお前のデスノートに関する記憶だけ消させてもらう。
じゃあ本当にデスノートを使った代償って何もないんだな。
強いて言えば、
Like, do you
そ
think
のノート
that
を使
thing
った人間に
cares?
しか訪れ
How
な
many
い苦
people
悩や
die?
恐怖。そしてお前が死んだ
So your
時、
shirt is like sewn to his neck.
俺がお前の名前を俺のノートに書くことになるが、デスノートを使った人間が天国や地獄に行けると思うな。それだけだ。
So what happened?
They probably become them.
死んでからのお楽しみだ。
You should have thought about that before.
ライト？
大丈夫だ。出てみろ。
No one else will be able to see it.
何？
リンゴ持ってきたわよ。お隣さんからお裾分け。何こんな暗くして目悪くするわよ。
どういうことだ？母さんには見えていないのか？
そのノートはもともと俺が持っていたものだ。それを使うことになったお前だが、俺の姿を見ることができる。もちろん声もお前にしか聞こえない。いわばデスノートは人間ライトと死神リュークをつなぐ絆だ。うまい。
じゃあもう一つ聞くけど、なぜ僕を選んだ？おい、聞いてるのか？
ああ、すごいぜ人間界のリンゴは。こういうのなんて言うんだ？ジューシー？
質問に答えろよ。
選んじゃいない。俺はただノートを落としただけだ。賢い自分が選ばれたとでも思ったのか？うぬぼれるな。たまたまこの辺りに落ち、たまたまお前が拾った。それだけのことだ。だから人間界で一番ポピュラーな英語で説明をつけたんだぜ。
じゃあなぜ落とした？
trap people.
丁寧に使い方まで書いて、間違って落としたなんて言うなよ。
なぜかって？退屈だったから。
They share that.
退屈。
実際今の死神ってのは暇でね、昼寝してるか博打打ってるかだ。下手にデスノートに名前なんて書いてると、何頑張っちゃってるのって笑われる。死神界のやつをノートに書いても死なない。かといって自分は死神界にいるのに、人間界のやつを殺しても面白くもなんともない。こっちに来る方が面白いと俺は踏んだ。それにしても随分名前書いたな。しかしなんでダンプにはねられたやつしか死因を書いてないんだ？
死因を書かなければ皆心臓麻痺で死ぬ。そこがデスノートの一番いいところだよ、リュウク。すでに主だった犯罪者の名前は書き尽くし、徐々に悪人のレベルも下げてる。
それが何だと言うんだ？
どんなバカでも悪人が誰かに消されているってことに気づくだろ。世の中に知らしめるんだ、僕の存在を。正義の裁きを下す者がいるってことを。
いやしかし正義の裁きを下してどうするつもりだ。なぜそんなこと。
僕も退屈だったから。もちろん最初は信じなかった。でもそのノートには人間なら誰でも一度は試してみたくなる魔力がある。
I was thinking that earlier.
殺してしまった。二人もこの僕が。命だ。軽いはずがない。僕に勝手に人を裁く権利があるのか。
I want to know what you see. This to me is really interesting because you have such a strong sense of justice and of right and wrong.
Well, people were worried about that when they recommended this.
And I think I operate a little more in the gray zone.
There is no right or wrong, only what is and what isn't.
At this moment, I am more intrigued about Ryu. Like, you knew what you were doing. You wanted
100%
to destroy someone's life and have a human do your job for you.
I think it's more than that. I get the sense he's like a teenager too. He's bored. He wants something to be amused by. I'm not sure that it was totally malicious. I think it was just like, let's see what happens.
Ooh. Which I feel like when you're playing with life and death and you're that cavalier about it, like that says a lot.
I agree with you, but I think
I mean he is a god of death, so obviously that's on brand.
That was gonna be my point. Is like I think that you are looking at it from a human perspective. He's probably immortal. He probably lives forever. He probably doesn't care if people live or die. So it's just like, let's see what happens.
But like the fact that he pretended it was an accident and then Light was like, dude, you wrote the instructions very clearly. And then he was like, oh yeah, I wrote them in English because it's the most common language.
Answered your question, FYI.
Why it's in English?
Yeah.
Yes. But then he said if a person touches, is it touches the Death Note or uses it?
I thought it was uses.
Then they can never go to heaven or hell. So he's basically condemned to be a god of death when he dies too.
That's my take as of right now.
He has set this up so that there will be more people living in limbo post-mortem.
They're gonna become friends.
Well, he is like the death god version of Light.
Yeah.
This is a trip.
Oh, I'm actually really enjoying it.
I thought he was gonna barf after he killed those two guys, but he was like, I'm good.
Well, no, he's leaned up against the wall right now. We haven't seen it, so.
世の中腐っている。腐ってる奴は死んだ方がいい。誰かがやらなくてはいけないんだ。自らの精神や命を犠牲にしてでもいけないんだ。このノートを拾ったとして、この世に不必要な人間を消すことのできる奴がいるか。でも僕なら、僕にならできる。いや、僕にしかできないんだ。デスノートで世の中を変えてやる。
Wow, that is furious scribbling. Didn't take him long to embrace his new role.
He's committed.
まずは地球の掃除と思って凶悪犯の名前を書き続けた。やがて誰も悪いことができなくなるように。そして罪を受けて当然な悪人が心臓麻痺で死んでいく裏で、道徳のない人間、人に迷惑をかける人間を病死や事故死で少しずつ消していく。そうすれば確実に世界はいい方向に進んでいく。そして僕が認めた 真面目で心の優しい人間だけの世界を作り上げていく。
I've judged
そんなことしたら性格悪いのお前だけになるぞ。
何を言ってるんだリュウク。僕は日本一と言ってもいいくらいの真面目な優等生だよ。そして僕は新世界の神となる。
やっぱり人間って面白い。
Holy wow.
It's actually a really interesting look at human nature.
Absolute power does messed up things to people.
Phenomenal cosmic powers!
Oh my gosh. This concept is incredibly interesting.
Yeah. It's so interesting because he thinks, you can see it all happening at once. He wants to make a difference, right? And I think when you're a teenager, you think you have endless possibilities and you can do whatever, and he's obviously a bright guy and he has all this potential, and he's probably been told how smart he is his whole life, and so you start thinking, I'm the perfect person to do this, and my way has got to be, you know, the right way.
I'm a good person, can't you see?
I'm interested to see what the character development and the thoughts are and how it all happens.
It just like went from bored kid to god complex like that. And he is the only judge on these people.
Yeah.
That's the...
Well, it's interesting because it looks like that first list was mostly people who had been already convicted. So you could argue that he's not judging them, he's just carrying out the sentence.
No, but it's his words. He's like, the people who I judge to be evil,
yeah.
I'm killing them.
And that's kind of where we got to at the end. But the first names, he was looking at people who had already been convicted.
And Ryuk said it well. Humans are so interesting.
Yeah.
My initial thought was that it was going to end up being a showdown between Light and Ryuk. But Ryuk protected himself by saying only human names can be written down.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing is, Light, Ryuk could write your name down at any time in his book.
Yep.
Like, you're not safe.
Well, and it was interesting that he said, you've erased all the bad people but yourself.
I loved that part.
Yeah,
I loved that part.
Very interesting.
He's like,
but I think he can kill Ryuk, he just can't die. So I wonder if they can feel pain. Because he said earlier in the episode, he's like, you can write their names down, but they're immortal. So I wonder if you can be like somewhat sadistic and like cause them all kinds of pain, but they don't die.
There are so many different twists and turns that this can take. I'm intrigued.
I think I say this every time I watch a new anime, but the concepts that people come up with and the stories, they're incredible. I feel like this could be a psychology course in university.
Oh my gosh. Examining Death Note.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited. Adam is excited. I would say that your excitement level has escalated exponentially since the start of the episode.
This was not what I thought of when I thought of horror. Like when I found out that it was a horror anime. I mean,
it's got a psychological thriller vibe.
Yeah. Well, and it makes you think. My brain goes to like, what would I do if I had that book? What would you do if you had that book? Because I don't think you can actually know. You can think you know what you would do, but until you can actually do that, and this is the thing that gets me, is that what would you do if you knew you couldn't be caught? If you knew there were no consequences? Like, that to me is the mark of like who you actually are.
I think I know the answer, but I'll keep thinking about it because I don't want to be too hasty. Let us know your thoughts. I know so many of you were very excited to watch this with us, so hit us up in the comments below. No spoilers, please. As always, we're very appreciative when you keep it where we're at. As always, I would be so excited if you would like this video, subscribe to my channel, and stay tuned for more Death Note next week. Thanks, guys.